The galaxy was vast, filled with empires that rose and fell like waves against the shore. The most powerful of them all was the Zetherian Empire. For 1,000 years its fleets had burned through the stars, crushing resistance, enslaving worlds, and grinding cultures into dust. Entire species bent their knees, trembling at the sight of the Empire's banners. But in the far reaches of the galaxy, at the edge of mapped space, there was one region marked in black on every star chart. A warning was etched there in every language known. Here lies Terran space. Enter and face destruction. It wasn't just a border. It was a line that no empire dared to cross. Even the reckless pirate clans and wandering mercenaries gave it a wide berth. The stories were old, too old for anyone to know the truth. Some said the Terrans had been monsters who destroyed anything that threatened them. Some said they were protectors, saviors of smaller races, who vanished long ago. Others whispered that Earth itself had bled the galaxy once, and had sworn never to be disturbed again. The Zetherian Emperor, proud and cruel, dismissed the warning as superstition. Every world falls, he declared. Every people bends the knee. This Terran space will be no different. If they resist, we will burn their sun from the sky. And so, the Zetherian armada gathered. Thousands of ships, each bristling with weapons that could tear apart moons, surged toward the Terran border. The galaxy watched in silence. Every race remembered the warning. None dared to speak against the Empire, but in their hearts they whispered, the Zetherians have doomed themselves. The first violation. The first ship to cross the Terran border was the Imperial Spear, a massive dreadnought of black steel. It carried legions of soldiers, cruel generals, and banners soaked in blood. They expected silence. They expected nothing. What they received was a voice. It came across every frequency, every channel, as if the very void spoke. You have entered Terran space. Leave now. This is your only warning. The generals laughed. They broadcast their reply with arrogance. We are the Zetherian Empire. We bow to none. Surrender your worlds, Terrans, or be destroyed. The voice did not return. Instead, a single Terran ship appeared. It was small compared to the dreadnought. Sleek, silver, almost quiet in its presence. No weapons were visible. No shields shimmered. Just a lonely vessel floating before the massive warship. The generals mocked it. One ship against an armada? Foolish. They fired. The Terran ship moved. No, it blurred. In an instant, the dreadnought's weapons fell silent. Systems died. Hull cracked. The Imperial Spear groaned like a wounded beast before splitting apart, consumed by fire. The single Terran vessel was untouched. It vanished as suddenly as it appeared. The galaxy trembled. The Zetherian Emperor was enraged. They destroyed one of my finest ships. For this insult I will bring the whole of Terran space to ash. And so the armada surged forward, deeper into the forbidden zone. The war that should not have been. The deeper the Zetherian fleet pushed, the stranger the space became. Stars seemed older, their light heavy with memory. Planets were scarred as if great wars had been fought there ages ago. Ruins floated silently, vast enough to dwarf cities, older than any empire. Whispers moved through the soldiers. What if the legends are true? What if the Terrans were never conquered because they cannot be conquered? The admirals silenced such talk with executions. Fear was not allowed in the Empire. Then, the Terrans came. Not in thousands, not even in hundreds. Just a handful of ships appeared at first, sleek, silent, moving with impossible speed. They struck like lightning, each shot precise, each maneuver perfect. Entire Zetherian fleets collapsed before them. The Empire responded with fury. They unleashed their superweapons, planet burners, black hole generators, gravity cannons. But every time they prepared to fire, the Terrans struck first, disabling weapons before they could release destruction. For the first time in history, the Zetherian Empire faced an enemy it could not overwhelm. A message to the Emperor on the 7th day of war, a Terran broadcast reached the Emperor himself. A human appeared on every screen across the armada. He was not armored. He carried no weapon. He wore only simple dark clothing, his eyes calm, his voice steady. "I am Admiral Reyes of the Terran Defense Command. You were warned. Our borders are not to be crossed. We desire no empire, no conquest, no war. But if war is brought to us, we will end it. Leave now, or none of you will return." The Emperor laughed. "You threaten me with words? I have burned 1,000 worlds. I will burn yours as well." Admiral Reyes's expression did not change. "You cannot burn what will not fall. This is your last chance." The Emperor spat his defiance. "Terran, I will grind your people into dust, and when your world burns, I will erase your name from history." Reyes only shook his head. "History already remembers. It remembers us far better than you do." The transmission ended. The Battle of the Line. The Emperor ordered the full armada forward. Thousands of ships, larger than nations, cut across Terran space like a swarm of locusts. And then, they stopped. Ahead of them stretched a line of Terran ships. Not thousands, not even hundreds. Only 50 vessels stood between the Empire and the Terran homeworlds. The Zitherian admirals laughed. "This is their defense? A handful of ships? Crush them." The order was given. The armada advanced. 50 Terran ships moved as one. They did not scatter. They did not retreat. They advanced. What followed was not battle. It was annihilation. The Terran ships danced between the enemy like predators among prey. Their weapons fired with impossible precision, cutting through dreadnoughts as if their armor were paper. Cytherian ships exploded one after another, thousands falling in minutes. For every Terran ship destroyed, and there were few, 10,000 Zitherian vessels were lost. The void burned with wreckage, a graveyard of arrogance. At last only the Emperor's flagship remained, massive and wounded, its fleets shattered around it. And then the Terrans stopped. They did not finish him. They only surrounded his flagship, silent and watching. The final warning once more, Admiral Reyes appeared on the Emperor's screen. Behind him, Earth could be seen, blue and green, alive, radiant in the void. "Your empire ends at our border," Reyes said softly. "You have seen what happens when you cross it. Leave now and live. Cross again, and you will not be given the chance to retreat." The Emperor, broken and furious, tried to speak, but no words came. His empire had been humiliated, his armada shattered, his pride crushed. The Terrans did not wait for his answer. Their ships turned away, vanishing into the darkness, leaving the Emperor alive to carry the message back. And so he did. The Zitherian Empire limped home, scarred forever. They told no lies of victory, for the galaxy had seen the truth. Word spread like wildfire. The Terrans had not been forgotten. They had not grown weak. They had not vanished into myth. They were still here, and their warning remained unchanged. Enter Terran space and face destruction. Epilogue: the galaxy never looked at Earth the same way again. To some, humanity became a terror, a shadow that haunted the stars. To others, they became protectors, guardians who stood against tyranny when no one else could. But the truth was simple. Humans wanted peace. They wanted to be left alone. Yet if war came to their door, they would fight. Not for conquest, not for glory, but because they refused to kneel. And so, the black mark remained on every star chart, brighter now than ever before. It was not just a warning. It was a promise. Humanity does not forgive trespass. Humanity does not bow. Humanity endures. And all who gazed upon that forbidden space knew the truth. The Galactic Empire was warned, and humanity had kept its word.